Good morning, folks. Well, I'm on my drive to work. I thought it would be an interesting idea to have a little philosophical think in the morning about education, learning, teaching, the broader political landscape at the moment about education. And essentially, really, for me, trying to understand what it means to be a critical pedagogue. So a person who looks at the broader sociological factors around educational issues or on educational issues. And for a person who actually doesn't like controlling structures that alienate, how these ideas influence me in leading, designing and influencing a program of education. So I've been a program leader now for 3 months, thereabouts, and I'm just about to come into my 4th week of being a program leader with students actually in the university. What's been very interesting for me is that I've sat back and I've tried to listen to what people have had to say. And what's also been very surprising and very interesting is to see the different models of leadership that people take with running their programs. And by program here, I mean a degree. I've seen some very strong, very clear-cut leadership models of this is the latest update, this is the information that we have, as very good examples. So a kind of a didactic, managerialist, top-down approach. Although it's never as simple as that, particularly within education, because sometimes you do have to be very clear. But also what's been interesting to note is how people who do have or do run education degrees have to bring people together like that, because there are such broader factors that influence their decision making and their program design, their degree design. For me, I'm trying to find my feet. I'm a young bloke. I'm the youngest person in my department by far, and all of my colleagues are more mature in years, but more mature in experience. They draw on a greater capital than I currently have, both in their kind of creative, cultural capital, readings and philosophical, theoretical understanding of education, although some may not identify with that, but it's definitely the case. But also their understanding of the way learning happens, the way they understand the way systems function. And they also have a great deal more knowledge to draw on with regard to learners and learning. Now, I always profess, and my line has always been that I'm not a teacher. And what I mean by that is that I'm not a teacher in a professional sense of the word of teaching with regard to classrooms, schools, etc. But I am a teacher in the sense of being a philosopher of education and social justice, that I teach sociology of education, that I've taught international education, learning theories, that I'll be teaching psychology of education this academic year. And for the first time, due to structural issues, I've been teaching the primary curriculum. Now that's a whole nother story. So I am a teacher with regard to exploring different ideas, trying to take learners along for the ride, and also being open to multiple perspectives. What's very interesting, however, is that it's quite difficult when you're trying to lead and develop a program to be able to hold those multiple perspectives and make people happy. Believe me, that is very difficult. It's also made all the more difficult by being a critical pedagogue, because I want to make sure that I don't alienate people, that I don't dehumanize them, that I don't diminish what they have to say. because of my critical pedagogy training, well, training education is the better word. Now, as I take the programme forward, in light of all of the conversations that we've just had, or the ideas that we've just shared, is that how do I develop a programme which is a structured programme? It has structure to it. It has a way of being about it. How do I develop a programme to incorporate and to support those structures? Well, maybe not support those structures, but to support the learners that fit within those structures, and by their very nature of those structures are often dehumanised. Really good example of that is the fact that we give all students student numbers, and then the fact that we refer to them within the system as their number. Now, I say to my students, they're only a couple of steps away from being in an internment camp, and they laugh at me, of course. A similarity is that some students don't feel as though that they can engage within the system, that they feel as though that the system doesn't work for them, or that they feel disadvantaged the second that they walk into the institution. Now, there's a number of things going on there, a number of things which I think we don't pay attention to as academics. For example, within the Western tradition of philosophy, and within the Western tradition of exploring education, which derives its philosophical roots often from Western philosophy, we often ignore the multiple cultures that students come from, or that students identify with, that their teachers or their tutors might not identify with. For example, I have a number of students who are Muslim, but we don't teach or we don't explore Islamic philosophy of education, and of course there's so much that we can explore there. It is a myth of Western thinking at the moment that Islamic teachings and Islamic philosophy is some way backward, but we must remember that it was Islamic medicine and was far more advanced than any Western form of medicine. And we mustn't forget that students do as well for a whole host of different reasons. They have power to explore their own identities as learners, which is incredibly important if we want to take learners on a journey that they may not already associate with. But they also have power because we mustn't forget that learners are paying a substantial amount of money. And however we see that learners are buying their degree, I don't agree with that, but some institutions might. Learners may be making a significant investment in themselves, and it's up to us to enable them to manage that investment. Or learners are paying for a process of transformation. Now, that isn't as simple as we like to think about it either. Transformation could be within the sense of mesero, which is adult transformation, or it could be in the sense of a more conservative view of Peters, who is a long-standing philosopher of education who was writing within the 1970s. And Peters argued that the transformation occurs within particular behaviours, particular disciplinary subject knowledge, that then enables us to become transformed, to change our behaviours and to change our thinking. Now, whichever view that we currently take, hopefully being a programme leader, being a module leader and a critical pedagogue, I'll be able to find my way through. But at the moment, I'm not quite sure how to do that. So if you have any thoughts, any views, do leave some comments. And I hope that at least I've given you some food for thought for thinking about your role as a module leader, designing your own curriculum, or your role as a programme leader in leading a whole degree so that learners can engage, so that staff can engage, and not be alienated from their subject content, from their assessments, from their identity as a teacher or learner. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining me on my drive to work. I've got about 10 minutes to go. And thank you very much, and see you soon.